All right, the 10th best starting lineup. When I say starting lineup, it may not necessarily be the starting lineup, but it is the lineup for every team that has the most minutes together. More than likely, it's the starting lineup. So the 10th best starting lineup in the league is the Thunder. What's interesting, though, is what you're going to have to consider is some of these, it may seem like, okay, there are going to be teams that are worse than the Thunder that are higher up. So what would that tell you? That would tell you that they have a good starting lineup, but their bench is bad. So the Thunder are low, but the thing is, some of their other lineups are actually better. Guys like Isaiah Joe being in the lineup are going to make the Thunder actually a little bit better. So one thing I think is Isaiah Joe should be starting. It's neither here nor there, but he is a great player, and he's probably should be a 6th Man of the Year candidate. So their PI rating is 53.7. You're going to notice that it's not very high. It's not crazy. You would think it would be a lot higher. We're going to see some crazy PI numbers. Player impact estimate. This is the average player impact estimate for everyone. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, of course. MVP candidate. Lou Dort, one of the best 3-and-D guys in the league. Josh Giddey does it all. Triple-double king. Remember when everyone was talking about Josh Giddey and the allegations, and now no one talks about it anymore? I guess it just went away. I guess somebody made it disappear with, I don't know. Money, of course. Yes, somebody got paid out. And it's over. No one cares anymore. Chet Holmgren, definitely going to be the Rookie of the Year, I think, because they're not going to give it to Victor Wembanyama because he's on a minutes restriction and his team has 5 wins right now. So my bet, it's going to Chet Holmgren. Congratulations, Chet. And then Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams, not J-Dub. Jalen Williams, the starter, who's playing really well. I really like watching him play. 33 points per game isn't crazy, though. We're gonna see some wild points per game per lineup. So while these guys are on the court, they're getting 33, let's round up, 34 points per game. And I'll shout out their 3-point percentage because that 3-point percentage is really good. 43.5. If you watch basketball, if you're nailing over 40% of your 3-point shooting shots, you're exceptional. So you're going to be surprised by the next one. Not. The Magic. Goga Batadze, who I like. Dude, that guy plays hard. I think he's one of the most underrated centers in the league. I watch a lot of Orlando for some reason, but that guy is good, and he gets blocks and he gets rebounds over guys that are, maybe not, I think he's like 7 foot, but maybe not larger than him, but definitely more experienced than him. Franz Wagner, obviously probably going to be maybe most improved. I don't know. Jalen Suggs, going to be all defense. Paolo Banchero, who I really enjoy watching in interviews. And Anthony Black, who's playing really well, who's probably going to be first-team all-rookie. He's not going to be Rookie of the Year because, like I said, Chet Holmgren probably is, but he's playing really well. Pi, a little bit higher, 54.3. So the Magic, one thing you have to consider is the Magic has a higher player impact estimate for their starters, meaning their bench is a little weaker, but their bench is still good. Their net rating is 6. So, and I only say that because OKC is a little bit better than the Magic. Net rating, what net rating means is per 100 possessions. So potentially you get 100 possessions a game, usually. So if this starting lineup were to play the whole game, they would win by 6 points. Unfortunately, they get tired, and they can't. So the Magic lose some games. Now look, 43.8 points per game. The Magic starting lineup score a lot more than the Thunder, and we all know the Thunder's better. And also, they have one of the most, they have 21.5 rebounds per game together. That's probably the highest of any team on this list. And again, that's a lot of Goga Batadze. So shout out to him. And then the Kings are next, 54.4, 12.2 net rating. So per 100 possessions, they're getting 12 more points than the other team. Starting to notice the Kings bench isn't so great, but their starting lineup is really good. Got a 39.3 points per game. That's the highest so far. They get in 40 points a game when the starters are in. If they're all playing together, when the starters are all playing together, they get 40 points. They have a great starting lineup, and their bench is not cutting it so much. I don't even know who's on their bench. Oh, of course. But Malik Monk's on their bench. Everyone loves Malik Monk, and he could definitely be sixth man of the year. But the rest of their bench, guys, I don't know. 55%, I believe that's their field goal percentage. It's decent. I threw it on there. So they have a high field goal percentage and they have a high threes made. They get a lot of shots and they do get their own rebounds. So these guys are like, maybe their percentages aren't insane, but they are getting a lot of shots and they're making a lot of shots. The Kings have a really great offense this year, and their starting lineup is the 7th best in the league. So then the Pacers, y'all knew. This is a team that has an okay, so the bench, this is a good starting lineup, and everyone talks about their offense being incredible and or being great and their defense being bad. Not so much their starting lineup, though. Their starting lineup's defense is actually pretty decent, and their offense is kind of mid, 29.7. Keep in mind the teams before were in the 40s points per game when their starting lineup is out there. So their starting lineup, they're not gunslingers like you would think that the Pacers are. It's most of their bench that are the guys that are really racking up the points while they're out there. So they got the 55% field goal percentage, which is good. It's decent. You want it above 50, in case you don't know. Net rating, if they're out there on the court together, 20 points more than the other team if they're out there for 100 possessions. That's a lot. That means they're playing defense, though, too, because they're not scoring a lot of points. So the Pacers' starting lineup, don't look at them and say, oh, those guys don't play defense, because they definitely do. Pi, 57.9, the best we got so far. Miles Turner, who's like a defensive, I'm sure he's been on all defensive teams. I'm not going to pull it up, but I'm pretty sure. Call me out. Let me see. Buddy Hield, he ain't on no... I remember I used to say that Buddy Hield was like a good defender. Like he was a 3-and-D guy on my other YouTube channel. People called me out. It was really embarrassing. Bruce Brown, Obi Toppin, and Tyrese Halliburton. What a squad. 6th best starting lineup in the league. Then we got Brook Lopez. Okay, the Bucks, of course. Which actually, the Bucks have a little bit lower of a Pi rating, though, than the Pacers. Maybe I made this list before the Bucks lost to the Pacers again. So... net rating 12.8, 37.9. Again, Milwaukee Bucks starting lineup scores more points than the Pacers, so I need to do a little bit of research on that. Why are the Pacers scoring 150 points a game, but their starting lineup really doesn't get that many points together? Time to look at the bench. Maybe the Pacers will make a trade. Maybe they'll give up a lot of bench players because they have so much scoring on the bench that they'll bring in someone that they might need. I don't really know who the Pacers need. I don't watch a lot of Pacers games, but what we do know is the Pacers have a very offensive, powerful bench. That's what we know from the information we have right here. Decent field goal percentage. Of course, you got Brook Lopez and Giannis. Giannis is the field goal king. A dunk is a field goal. And Chris Middleton. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe Chris Middleton's slowing out the bunch. And Malik Beasley is starting for the Bucks. Good for Malik Beasley, man. You go, Malik Beasley. And, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right. Then Boston. You think Boston, so this is the 5th, I think. We're at number 5. Boston with the 5th best starting lineup. They have a good bench. 59.4, still the highest player impact. They have a lot of impact, those 5 together. Net rating, they're going to win by 17 points if they play the entire game. Of course they're not. 42.4 points per game. Way more than the Pacers. So you're starting to see it. Then their free throw percentage is 84.1, which is the highest of any I saw. Why am I calling out free throw? Why am I calling out free throw percentage? Because it's important. Because it's an underrated stat, especially at the end of these games, and it becomes a free throw contest. It's important. It wins and loses games. So don't make fun of free throw percentage. It's an important stat, and it's a thing to work on. Giannis, if you're watching. Then it's the Clippers. I know. It's surprising. 59.1, 17.2, 36. Again, not incredibly offensively powerful. Let's go back to the Bucks real quick. Or the Boston Celtics real quick. 42.4, 36.2. Boston, way better offense. Clippers have great defense, man. Even with James Harden on the floor. This ain't the old OKC James Harden. This ain't the old Houston Rockets James Harden. He's playing defense out there. 43.1 3-point percentage, and a 53.3 field goal percentage. The Clippers are good. I hate to say it, but they are an exceptional team, and they are looking like a finals contender at this point in the season. The Nuggets. You thought the Nuggets would be on top, or I did. I don't know who you are. 59.7, about what we're already at. Like, I think Boston and, yeah, right around where Boston and the Clippers are at. 19.7 if they're going to win by 19 points if the whole team plays, the whole starters play the entire time. 56.4 points per game. That's a lot. That's almost, we're like potentially double what the Clippers are scoring together, the starting lineup, which you wouldn't expect. You'd expect the Clippers to have an incredible offense, but it's the Nuggets. 42.4 from the three-point line, 82.2 from the free throw, 3-point to free throw. That's a good team. Michael Porter Jr. I remember, nobody. Here's the thing. The Nuggets are good because people didn't believe in Michael Porter Jr. because of his back and his injury history. Same thing with Jamal Murray. And it was just apparently flukes or just like something they were going to get over, and they got over. Those guys are moving further and further away from their injury history, and they're getting a reputation of just being solid players on max contracts. Nuggets took a bet that paid off because those guys are playing well, and I don't even worry about them getting injured while they're out there. I know Jamal Murray missed some time, and Aaron Gordon, dude plays hard. I like him. I love Aaron Gordon. He seems like a good teammate, and I'm always about KCP. Former Laker, still miss him. Man, the Lakers just kept the wrong players. That's like what the Lakers do. They get rid of the players that it comes to the end of the season of a successful season, then they decide which players actually had to do with their success. They choose a lot of the wrong ones. Then the Suns. You wouldn't think this because the Suns aren't good. You probably think I'm wrong. No, their pi rating is 63.3. The Nuggets are 59.7, 63.3. It's a jump. It's way higher than Boston. It's way higher than the Clippers, and it's way higher than the Nuggets. The Suns' starting lineup is great. What does that tell us? The Suns' bench is ass. It's ass. It's the assest in the league. It is not good at all, and it is killing their team. If the starters are out there the entire game, they're going to win by 24 points. They're going to kill them. They get 40 points a game. They're 40% from the three-point line and 59 field goal percentage. The starting lineup is incredible, but man, are they bad if the starters aren't in. This is they lost last night to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies came back and won. I'm loving this team. I'm loving what the drama is going to be. What if Durant wanted out? What if he just says, I want out. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be a Sun. That would be so awesome. I just love it. At this point, I'm just all about the, drama. And, I bet y'all didn't know this. The Sixers. The Sixers are the best starting lineup in the league. 65 pi rating, which is incredible. The most impact in the league. And let's be honest, it's a lot of Embiid. Maxi's great. Tobias Harris is great. D'Anthony Melton's great. Nicholas Batum. I didn't even know he started. He's great. But Joel Embiid is an exceptional player. I think he's going to get the MVP again. It seems like Jokic doesn't care. It doesn't seem like he cares. And a lot of their games are blowouts. He doesn't play the whole game anyway, which throws off his stats. So give it to Embiid. I like Embiid now. I'm a big Embiid fan. These are great. 47% from three. The Sixers are. Wow. This is the team to beat. But the thing is, here's the thing. They still have the haul they got from the Harden trade, right? They got Batum, they got Rocco, and then somebody else. I don't even remember who. I always forget. They got someone back, but then they got a bunch of picks, which they're going to try to use before the deadline to acquire one more player. So keep that in mind. Their starting lineup is the best in the league. Their bench is not as good, but they can bolster their bench with the haul that they got back from the Harden trade. So keep this in mind. The Sixers this is it. If they don't win this year with everything they have, If they lose to Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, I won't judge them, whatever that means. I wouldn't say what a disappointment, because Boston's really good too, but they got to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and give Boston a run for their money. That's what I'll say, because this is the Sixers' year. If they don't get it this year, I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's ever gonna. Sorry, fruit punch burp. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but those are the top 10. Those are the top 10 lineups in the league. Starters. All right, thanks for being here. Be good to your mom.